This is the Tachyon Pulse. On my holidays, to be honest, so I can't do a proper video. But Star Trek just dropped a Strange New Worlds teaser. It's San Diego Comic-Con. Am I happy about it? Or am I annoyed about it? I'm annoyed because they're doing a puppets episode. God damn it. What is wrong with these people?
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
Okay, so, yes, at San Diego Comic-Con, they dropped us a little teaser. And it's Anson Mount, you think, on his captain's chair. And he rotates in shadow. And then when it rotates, it's a puppet. And he goes, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Oh, we better start season 4 without me. Now, I heard a rumor about them doing a puppet video, a puppet episode. There's also talk that they were trying to do an animated episode where it basically would be Strange New Worlds, but animated, you know, flipping on what they did with Lower Decks last season. But I didn't believe it because I thought this is such a stupid idea. And to be fair, the source that came to me, I didn't really know him. So I didn't know how reliable he was, but now I'll listen to him in future. But I thought this was so stupid that it just couldn't be true. It just can't. But it does seem, and it's not really confirmed, but it's as confirmed as you're going to get, following this teaser that they've dropped, that in season 4 there is going to be a puppet episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Now, whatever nonsense reason they come up with to explain why they're all puppets, like they did with the musical where they were in a probability field or something, or improbability field or something, and another universe leaked in that made it make sense. They're really going to struggle with this one. I mean, the musical excuse was really stretched. I mean, they were really, you know, pushing the boundaries of what made even remote sense. But for puppets, I just hope Jim Henson did the puppets. So you know, his company, Jim Henson's production company is Brian Henson, now, to be fair. I just hope his company did the puppets. They've made a bit of money because they kind of need to. That's not a company I want to see go under. But yeah, I just don't know what they're doing with Strange New Worlds. I really don't. Why can't they just make Star Trek? For God's sake. It's like every episode they've got to try, or every season they've got to try to do something to try and annoy fans. You know, us Trekkies in our 40s. It's like, we'll do a musical, that'll piss them all off. I've been told there's something dropping this season that they've not told us about yet. I mean, we know there's going to be the Vulcan episode still, where the human crew become Vulcans and just are much better at being Vulcans than Spock is and annoy him. And we know we're getting the murder mystery episode, which I'm actually quite looking forward to. We haven't really had a quirky episode yet. We had the Gorn. We had the stupid zombies. What was the second episode? I did a review on it. It can't have been that memorable because I can't remember off the top of my head. So it can't have been that good. We've already had some more K-pop Klingons with the gold Klingon thing. It's stupid. But yeah, how memorable was episode 2 that I can't remember what happened, even a bit. So yeah, but we're already getting that. We're already getting the murder mystery episode. So out of 7 episodes left, we know at least 2 of them are sort of supposed to be quirky episodes. And I'm being told that there may be a third that they haven't dropped yet, which is kind of what they did last year with the musical. They dropped it about halfway through that there was going to be this musical. So there might be something silly yet coming in the 3rd season. But a puppets episode. This does remind me of Stargate's 200th episode. And I know I've had this complaint before. But Stargate did that 200th episode and they allowed the writers just to go nuts. But it was the 200th episode. So we kind of had permission at that point. You know, we have 200 episodes. The show's been going, I think it was 9 years at that point. And they just sort of went, let's just be silly. And they did a couple of silly episodes. They even did like a Farscape skit because, you know, Ben Browder and stuff were in the crew by then. And they did the puppets episode, which felt like Team America to me, which I actually thought was quite funny. But so now we're getting a Muppets episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but all I keep saying is they've not earned it. Strange New Worlds hasn't earned being able to do such crazy episodes. by Stargate had earned it by then. They'd earned the right to sort of just go nuts and just do whatever they wanted. Because, you know, they'd been massively successful up to that point. They wanted to do something to mark 200 episodes, so they just went, just go crazy. Strange New Worlds hasn't earned that. By the end of this season, we'll have had 30 episodes, which is just over, what would traditionally be a season of television. So 30 episodes. And by then, we'll have had about a third of them nearly have been silly, quirky episodes, you could say. That aren't anything to do related to Star Trek, really. I mean, you think even when Stargate, again, did funny episodes, like the one there, the Groundhog Day episode. But even that was still Stargate. Yes, it was a funny episode. It was a comedy episode. It's one of the best episodes of Stargate for me. And, like, in the middle of my backswing, just over and over again like that. It was just brilliant. But even that, though, it was Stargate. There was a reason why it happened. There was a start, a middle, and an end. It used the Stargate, etc. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, just keeps doing it just for the fun of mixing with genres, just messing with genres. And I don't get it. And it's I have to admit, this is a show that is brilliantly made, beautifully cast, and it's starting to piss me off. What are they thinking? Why do they keep doing this? I just don't know. I tell you what, I know people that are lifelong Star Trek fans, and Strange New Worlds, not Discovery, even though Discovery was an abomination. It's Strange New Worlds that's finally turned them off. It's finally got to the point where they've just gone, I've had enough of this. And I think the musical episode was a big reason why a lot of people turned off. That was like the final straw for a lot of reasons. I tell you what, it wasn't far off for me. But when you've got fans that have been watching Star Trek for like 30 or 40 years at this point, or even longer sometimes, because, you're watching, our older generation have been watching TOS when it first came out, they're basically watching Star Trek since the late 60s. And now they're watching Strange New Worlds and going, nope, and check it out. And they're not Trekkies anymore. Strange New Worlds creators, Alex Kurtzman, etc., need to be looking at that and need to be going, have we made a horrible mistake? Because I tell you what, whatever you say about Discovery, at least it tried to be Star Trek first. It didn't have all these quirky, silly episodes that Strange New Worlds does. It didn't do that. They had bad episodes. The first season was awful. But they didn't have episodes like Strange New Worlds does. They tried to be Star Trek. They failed, but they tried. Strange New Worlds isn't doing that. And I know the theory is they need to bring new fans in and blah, 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 but you don't do that by alienating your existing fan base. Just don't get it. So yeah, Puppets in Space. Muppets in Space again. See, we've already had that episode. The Muppets did it, and I bet they do it better. Get into the comments, tell me what you think. And I'll be back next week, so my videos will start being actually, like, filmed normally again. Like, the shaking hand. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it still as I can. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out, and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else. Go check that out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.